Got a lot of time on my hands with the lockdown, so I thought I'd put together a little throwing tutorial series for any of the young hookers out there who want to work on their line out throwing, improve their technique over the course of the lockdown. So the first thing I'll say is that line out throwing is a complex skill. You know, it's a multi-joint skill. You're trying to deliver a ball 15 meters to a point that you're anticipating the jumper is going to be at and hit him at the top of jump. So it's a complex skill, so we're going to try and, over the course of the videos, we're going to try and break it down into smaller, simpler drills, just so you can focus on each part and then put it all back together and hopefully get a better result at the end. So what I'll say is that there's no right or wrong way to throw the ball into the line out. If you want to throw the ball one-handed, you can. If you want to throw the ball with the ball starting in front of your face, you can. There's just ways that are more efficient. And if you can work in getting your technique as efficient as possible, everyone's different shapes and sizes, but if you work in the principle of trying to be as efficient as you can with your technique, then I think that's going to drive better consistency in your technique and better accuracy at the end. Okay, so I hope everyone enjoys the series. I'm going to break it down into a couple of parts. So we'll look at your introduction, your setup and your stance, how you generate power and distance into your throw, how you generate accuracy and control with your upper body, and then just other drills that just improve the movement patterns around the line out throw. Okay, so hope you enjoy. Okay, first of all, we're going to look at setup. So your setup and your throwing stance. Okay, so most people, when they go to throw, when they stand, their feet are going to be splayed out like that. So this is parallel stance, both feet together. This is split stance. Regardless of which one you use, you want to make sure that, like we said, we want to be as efficient as possible with our technique. We want to biomechanically be as efficient as possible, because that cuts down the amount of variation in the technique, leads to better consistency, better accuracy. So you want to get your feet pointing at the target. So feet pointing at the target. Next step, a lot of people, if they throw with their legs straight, they're bouncing off their lower back, they have less control. Also means that if you're waiting for the line out caller to assess where the space is in the line out, if you're standing there and you've got that pressure on your lower back there, you're not comfortable, not able to wait and deliver an accurate throw as easily. So I like to soften my knees. So I go feet, knees. Next up is hand position. Your hand position should be consistent all the time. So I start with my little finger on the nipple of the ball. And then as I look at the ball, it's an X. So I'm looking at an X. If I want to generate a little bit more torque, or if the ball's a little bit slippy, I'll just twist that a little quarter turn, or you find what works for you, and it's looking at a plus sign now. So it's a plus there. So I've gone feet, knees, hand position, now my elbows. So if you look at me from here, my elbows are splayed out to the side. Again, same as the feet, we want everything pointing towards the target. So I'm going to bring in my elbows as tight as is comfortable for me. If you think of a darts player, if he's throwing darts, he's got his elbow pointing at the dartboard, he's not got his elbow splayed out to the side. So feet, knees, hand position, elbows, and when you look from the side, you'll see angle at the ankle, the knee and the hip. And it's from there we generate our power. That's the first one, setup and stance. Okay, so far we've covered off an introduction into the line out throw, and we've covered off our setup and our stance prior to the throw. This video is going to deal with how we generate power in the throw to help us cover distance and to get speed on the ball. A common problem you'll see with a lot of hookers when they're trying to throw the ball to the tail is they'll try and generate power from their upper body, and there's a trade-off between accuracy then, because you should generate the force. Your force in the throw, power is generated from your lower body, your hips and your trunk. Your upper body is all about an accurate release, just accuracy. All the power is generated from down here. So I have here a med ball. This is 5 kgs. If you don't have a med ball at home, a sandbag will do. If you don't have a sandbag, a rugby ball will do. The only reason I'm using this is it's a little bit heavier than a normal rugby ball, so it just helps me to engage my core and to recruit from my lower body a little bit better. So we can still build good habits from our setup and our stance videos. So checking my feet are nice and square, soft knees, bending my knees, my hand position on the ball. I engage my core from here because I want to transfer all that power that I'm generating from my lower body up into the ball. Check my elbows in nice and tight. From here you'll see the first mover is going to be my hips. So as my hips come up, my core is braced. From there it's a nice smooth release with my upper body. Fingers pointing towards the target, I'm up nice and tall. The other stance that we covered was split stance. So if we went split stance, again, build good habits from the ground up. Check my feet are square. Soften my knees. Hand position on the ball. Elbows in nice and tight. Core is braced. The difference here is the first mover is going to be my left knee. So if you watch my left knee, as my left knee shifts forward, you just see my lower back now is loaded up like a coiled spring. Core is engaged. Release the ball. Fingers pointing towards the target. Up nice and tall. Triple extended all the way through. Okay, I would recommend you do a set of 10. Do some handling. Come back in. Do a set of 10. That's how we. So we've worked on how to generate force into the throw using a med ball or using a rugby ball, just with some simple drills, recruiting from our lower body, from our hips and from our trunk. The next step on from that is training our finish position as we release the ball. So if you come around to the side, I'm just going to draw a good analogy here for the release position on a line out throw is the same as a free throw in basketball. If you watch when someone's shooting a free throw in basketball, whether they're parallel stance or split stance, they're generally going to be here with an angle at their ankle, their knee and their hip. And when they release the ball, they're fully extended, hands pointing towards the target, triple extension all the way through here. So triple extension means your nice straight line for your ankle, your knee and your hip, hands pointing towards the target. Okay, so if I draw that back into a rugby, line out throw, you've got your feet, checking your feet are nice and square, your knees, hand position, elbows. First mover is my hip. So as I fire my hip, my back is coiled now, my core is braced. As I release the throw, I'm up nice and tall here, hands pointing at the target, chest goes straight up, and I'm extended at my ankle, knee and hip. So that's the position we want to get to. And a good way to try and train this, if you have a brother and sister, or a brother or sister, or a mum or a dad who love you, if you get them to hold a stick for you here, what that will help you is to encourage good movement pattern around the release and the line out throw. What you don't want to see is breaking at the hip on the throw. So if you break at the hip, it means you bend at the hip and your chest hits the stick. Or if you drop your hands and your hands hit the stick. So just leaving the stick there encourages you up nice and tall every single time, hands pointing at the target, up tall, nice straight line here. Okay, so this video we're going to focus on developing a real consistent release from our upper body to help us develop accuracy on the throw. Okay, so what I have here is I have a Swiss ball and I have a broom. If you don't have a Swiss ball, anything that can support your upper back, a bench, a stool will do, and anything with a handle will do for the broom. So what we're looking to train here is we're looking to help to train the hookers so that they can auto-correct on the fly when they make a throw. So we're trying to teach that where my hands finish dictates that's where the ball is going to go. So when I get into this position here on the ball, again, following on from our last video, making sure that I'm extended here at the hips, glutes are squeezed, core is engaged, checking my hand position. If my hands finish behind me, the ball goes behind. If my hands finish in front, the ball goes in front. If my hands finish to the left, the ball goes to the left, etc. So when I get into this position, I'm looking for my hands to come straight through, the ball to go up and the ball to go down. Again, using the broom can be a good visual cue, just to leave it in there, get a partner or a brother or sister to hold it. Just encourages the hookers to get their hands through, straight into the middle so the ball goes up and comes down for them. So what we're looking to do is brace through our core, and from here, just punching the ball straight through. Now, I would recommend getting 10 reps in. This is something that takes a bit of time. It feels a bit alien. Get 10 reps in, do a bit of handling, come back to